Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Marianne and you're watching Marianne's Mystic Mentions. Thank you for taking the time. I just want to say these are the readings for the second half of December. For those that are new, welcome especially, and for those returning, I appreciate you all very much for being a part of my channel and supporting me and liking and sharing and subscribing and everything. It's so beautiful, and I feel it's growing, and I love it because it's a slow process, but it's one that matters because it seems so authentic and just beautiful, in the sense that you're providing that, you're sharing, you're being a part of it with me. And so having said that, I'm going to be doing my normal format, which is reading for every single zodiac sign. And I start with Aries, I end with Pisces most of the time. Sometimes things come up, but I am doing that this remainder of the month. I just want to say for all of you that celebrate any holiday, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, anyone, that you have an amazing, heartfelt love connection of any type, all types. That is such a powerful part of the whole holiday things. And I know when we're younger, they go, oh, what are the gifts and stuff? And I still love gifts. But it's really about your heart and opening up and just, I get emotional. My throat chakra is very sensitive as it is, but I am saying that, may you have a beautiful, blessed, and healthy, love-filled holiday, whatever it is and whatever you do. And say that today's featured sign, as I go around the zodiac, will be for the wonderful earth element that's steadfast, a fixed energy, practical, grounded, deeply devoted, conservative kind of energy of Taurus. And Taurus, we had your full partial lunar eclipse on the 19th of November. And I'll tell you, that is still going to be affecting all of us and you as a Taurus yourself for months to come. Mind you, we have the planet, Uranus in your sign. It has been in your sign since 2018. Uranus is the planet of unexpected, unpredictable surprises and, outcomes and just changes in our life that just come, so erratically. And the freedom-seeking sign, and the masculine and the power and the strength all combined. So I don't know about you, but in the last almost 2 years, in the guise and the understanding energies of Taurus, which is once again the money sign, the grounded, the practical, the earth, and the ways of the earth, what we plant, our feelings, our health, your sensuality is a big portion of who you are, Taurus. That's all affected. So in those realms, you might have noticed some changes that came in kind of unexpectedly. Now, anytime that's going to happen, and it happens throughout our lives, there's nothing to be afraid of. It's just sometimes, it's being able to persevere, which is what Taurus is about, and recognize that, this too will pass. And once again, the conservative aspect of, okay, one foot in front of the other, not a rush, not a what do they call that? It's a marathon. It's not a stint. I think that's what it's called. So keeping that in mind will help you a great deal to keep you grounded during times that might get a little topsy-turvy. Now, the new moon eclipse, solar eclipse that happened on December 4th, which we spoke about when I did the first half of the month readings, it's still affecting us as well for months. And something new, something exciting, something you're very passionate about is really about to happen, already happened, or will continue to be revealed in the months to come, which is what eclipses do. Sometimes you get the information a month before the actual date, and then sometimes it's actually a month after. So it could have been November 4th or January 4th that it comes to fruition, and then for months after with more information that comes along with it. In the sign of Sagittarius, though, it's freedom-seeking, it's expansive, it's mutable, so it's changeable. It's about foreign land, culture, export, import, just travel in general, because Sagittarians love to travel, connections, communications, truth-seeking. All those things are coming to the forefront, and it's exciting. And I must say, I feel it in my energy. So what'll happen now as you're watching this video for the second half is we're winding down from the Sagittarius season in addition to the new solar eclipse. And it's going to become the season of Capricorn, which is also going to be the Christmas slash, I should say winter solstice. So the change of season, once again, a sign, Capricorn, of grounding and, success. They are cardinal sign. Cardinal signs are about beginnings and pioneering and new and starts and working and, just working for what they want and watching it grow, as well as you, Taurus, because you as an earth sign like Capricorn, very same ideals as far as fundamental values and working hard to achieve what you choose to do in your life and not letting anything get in your way, okay? And so that's a beautiful thing, but it's also a more calming energy. And I think we're going to need that, and I think it's a perfect time, and it's not coincidence that happens at this time every year with the holidays, with the winding down of a year and then going into a new one. It's time for being still and retreating and resting and just taking it all in and feeling incredible gratitude for being alive and waking up every day in the smallest things possible that matter so very much in our lives. And by the way, Venus is and has been in the sign of Capricorn and will go retrograde on December 19th through January 29th. So that is about love. Venus represents the feminine qualities, the intuition, the joy, the magic, the love, the relationships, money, beauty, aesthetics, feeling good, just beautiful, magical energy, okay? And that's going to be in retrograde, which means that we're going to be more internalizing. We're going to be reviewing things in all of those categories mentioned and, taking our time, but not going fast forward necessarily. Like, let's say a relationship, which is inevitable during a Venus retrograde, as well as Mercury, which is happening in January too. We'll get to that in January. But nevertheless, we're used to it at this point in our lives. It's half of our lives are in Mercury retrograde, so we're familiar, and there are things to do that work well with that energy. And I like to really focus on that now, because there's some positive energies, of course. So, just the fact that, situations or people from our past could come in to reconsider what that relationship meant and where it can go. You can go to new heights in a relationship, and you're figuring that out, like plans to fully commit, plans to have family, anything practical, to become a partnership of some sort in work and something that'll add to your security and your wealth and that sort of thing, and success. Because once again, that's a very key component for the beautiful Capricorn energy. So Taurus, let's find out what your highlighted connection that Spirit wants you to know about right in front of you. The highlighted connection is a person or an energy or a feeling that you're going to feel predominantly in the second half of December. You may very well know this particular energy could be very much in your own natal chart. You're just really in tune with it. There's a lot of beautiful, high, I would say, intuitive energies that are welcome to all of us. If you tune in and you really give yourself the time to sit and listen and be silent, which brings back that calming energy, which is necessary, because it's been kind of a frazzle kind of energy. There's a lot of excessive with Sagittarius, and it's fun and it's exciting and it can be adventurous, but it's also exhausting, so I welcome the change of that. And as much as I love fiery, generous, beautiful Sagittarius, it's good to take a deep breath and go, okay, whew, and prepare for what's coming, right? So for you, Taurus, your beautiful highlighted connection is Virgo. Oh, I love that for you. Virgo is your fellow. That's the triad. There's the Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus are the earth elements. So there's a lot of beautiful, grounded energy. Virgo is ruled by Mercury, so the mind is very sharp and clear, and it's a mutable sign as well. So it wants to be like Sagittarius, open to things and constantly allowing ourselves to grow and evolve and emerge and think and share and work with others, connect, networking, just vital, necessary, communications that'll come through for, you know, possibilities and new ideas and, you know, transformations that are absolutely coming through for, I mean, we go through transformations every day, really, and certainly throughout our lives. And this particular time of year, with the influences of the eclipses, which adds up to a great amount of transformation, is heightened. Okay, we go to some retrogrades or anything, it's on. It just pulls back the energy a little bit. You know, makes you want to second. You know, make sure you think things through very carefully, and dissect things, and kind of recheck and redo and renew all the re's, right? And relax and open yourself and be flexible for changes during retrogrades of all kinds. So yeah, Virgo is beautiful. They're incredibly hardworking as well, very intelligent, very caring, and you know, just service oriented. They're just always out there to be of service. They're great planners, organizers, detail oriented, very critical of themselves a lot of times. And the world at large, they look at it in a more critical manner, I think, because they understand they like to see things, you know, through a mind that is not just set on one specific way as a mutable sign. Okay, so yeah, they see there's an art and a beauty to being like that, but they're calming and they're just as earth bound and, you know, grounded as you, Taurus, and they love nature, and they love planting seeds figuratively and metaphorically to grow and to prosper and to, you know, to see the results of what they put in their hard energy work and energy. So that, I love that. That's a wonderful combination. I know a lot of Tauruses and Virgos that are in relationships, friendship-wise, family, that they're connected to each other more than others. Certainly romance. And these are long-term energies when it's the earth. So whatever ideas or information or things that are coming through with the transformations, it's going to be for a long term. And by the way, with this, you know, influence of Uranus in your sign, Taurus, that's happening through 2025. So you will be very aware and in tune to the possibilities of changes, and you will be able to adapt more and more as time goes on, because at first it can be quite shocking to think, you know, to have something change, even if it's amazing. It's just like, whoa, with your energy, you're kind of like, whoa, I prefer to just take it a little slower, but it won't necessarily be slow, but it could be great. It could be phenomenal changes that are lifelong changes. Okay, so anyway, let's read the 4 major categories for this highlighted connection, and once again for all of your relationships, because it does refer to that in my readings. And I am using the beautiful Art Nouveau Tarot deck that I received a couple of Christmases ago. I was just telling in another video that I thought it was only a year ago, but you know, time is very unusual in itself, and especially in the last 2 years, I have lost track quite a bit, as I feel like a lot of people have. So either way, it was a beautiful gift. I love it, and I like to bring it out ever so often, and it makes sense because I got it in December, and here we are in December again. So the first category for you, beautiful Taurus, and all your relationships is the overall energy bringing you to the reading. And if you haven't had a chance to look at your, I don't know if I'm repeating myself, but if you haven't had a chance to look at your beginning of the month, you might want to do that to just kind of compare notes. Also, you might want to watch your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs, because that's just all that much more information that can come through, and you may resonate more with those than just your sun. So, moving ahead, overall energy for you for the second half, and all this powerful, beautiful transformational energy you have. This has been a repeat card so far, and it is the 6 of Pentacles, and I'm almost positive this is the first placement of Aries, which was, you know, the video I did yesterday, and I've been shuffling it the whole time. I love it though, because for 2 reasons, and I'm actually positive it was yesterday. Same placement, because it is about 6, which is a number of balance. It is a Libra associated number with Venus, which is your ruling planet, you know, Taurus. So with Venus going retrograde in Capricorn for an extended amount of time, and then going forward and being in the sign of Capricorn through March 3rd or 6th, I believe, that affects you because that's your ruling planet, as it is Libra's. And Libra is about balance and, you know, compromise and, you know, weighing out all situations, and the air element that thinks about things sometimes way too much, but dissects everything and tries to be logical and, and strategizes and makes sure that, they're seeing all perspective, basically. So it is, it's going to be a 6 year. So it's quite interesting that that comes up now twice for both of the featured signs thus far. And you've got the scales right on there. So it's about the beautiful law of attraction and the cause and effect aspect, as well as karmic at times. And I feel like there's a lot of karmic energy that's ending, especially with the eclipses at this end of the year, to start fresh and new in so many ways we see, but we don't even know, okay? And that's what's happening here. And you're going to be reaping what you sow. I see you as being someone that's very compassionate and giving, and I've known many Tauruses that are, and you want to help others maybe more than you have before in some endeavor in your own family. Maybe you want to help yourself more than you have in a long time, which is so important. And it's perfectly wonderful to do that, because when you're full and you're filled, you are able to help others far better. And this also tells me that other people might very well want to be helping you. It is your energy. It is the pentacles, the coins, the sign of fertility, or planting seeds, and the needs of our life, the currency, the energy of money to provide and to sustain ourselves. So yeah, I love it. It's a beautiful balanced thing, like what you give, you'll receive. Once again, with Uranus, it could be something coming in for you you didn't expect, an inheritance, that sort of thing. A loan you've been waiting on, there's been a delay. That eclipse will fast forward that in motion regardless of the retrograde, because the eclipses came before it. And so I like that, I think it's beautiful. I think it's really important to see that the reciprocation of anything in a relationship and, your work is always a beautiful feeling. It's important to keep that balanced for your overall well-being. And the second category is the possible blessings or obstacles. And for you, you have, the Nine of Swords. So this is the air element. We have Jupiter and Saturn in the sign of Aquarius. That's been in there this entire year. Jupiter will be moving into the sign of Pisces, the water element, the compassionate love, boundless, possibilities and infinite creativity and intuition and healing aspects on the 29th of December. But it's been in Aquarius. And Aquarius is a mind sign, as is Gemini, which is what the full moon on the 18th will be, which is what I forgot to mention as well, but a very powerful and I think very positive influence for all of us. Gemini is, out of the three air elements, which are Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, Gemini is the mercurial sign as well. And it happens to be that, I believe on the 13th, we have a couple other changing of the guards. We have Mercury going into Capricorn. So, just the thought of what are we going to do? How are we going to do it? Overwhelming concerns that we tend to do in the air signs, where we overthink and we consider that every aspect of what's happened in the past and what if, and, going to a point where it can be very, very hard to relax and maybe sleep. This is something we bring on ourselves, though, and I just ask that you recognize that we have that control to stop that. If we're in that type of frame of mind, the best thing you can do is to be like the Taurus and to absolutely just calm yourself, get into nature, take the time to sit and meditate. And by meditate, I mean, it could be a minute of your day, it could be a half an hour, it could be yoga, it could be a bike ride, it could be anything that keeps you calm and kind of takes you out of your mind, more into your heart or into your, grounded energy, your root chakra. Where you breathe deep and you let go, and you let go of the stresses that you really don't have answers to. I mean, we know a lot of things, we have premonitions and intuitions, it's true. But a lot of times we don't actually know until it actually happens. So remind yourself of that. And that would be a blessing to do that. because the obstacle will be that you may lose sleep, and that you don't need to do that. It's never healthy, and it would only add to more perhaps stress, right? It's just kind of a vicious cycle. The best thing about it though is 9 represents completion. So if that's been going on, it's ending. It is the end of that type of thought. And I think you've probably been doing really well to alleviate that. Nobody wants to feel like that for any length of time. And yes, it's important to think things through, but not to your detriment, and not to where you think that there's no hope or anything of that nature. You want to keep it light and the energy to go high, and it will absolutely bring in this help with the 6 of Pentacles. You know, what you give, you receive. If you're thinking things will be great, things are going to be good at the very least, and possibly extremely great, okay? So yeah, that's something that I have seen in my own personal readings. I've only done the 2 for the second half of the month so far. But yeah, it's always important. You know, our mind, our thoughts become things, and that is something we absolutely have control over. We really do. Even when we feel like we don't, we're like, oh, I can't control this thought. I know, I've been there too, but we really can. We really can. It sounded like Roger Rabbit for a second. Anyway, the 3rd category is that of finances. This is what you represent, Taurus. You are the money sign. You amass great wealth for all the reasons I explained earlier. And the capabilities you have to be steadfast as a fixed sign that is very determined and deeply devoted to whatever, and loyal to whatever you're doing. You know, it's a beautiful trait, and you absolutely benefit from it. But your financial could also be your wealth, as far as health and relationships and all the other things that matter to you, even more than money. Though money is an essential part of our lives, your card for that, oh beautiful, is the 3 of Wands. So there's that energy of the fiery, passionate, you know, adventurous and success driven, I might add. I didn't say that of Sagittarius as well. They point their arrow, and that's it. They are very interested in higher learning, education, truth. They're going to make good on anything they put their mind to. And this represents you recognizing and looking into your future and seeing many great possibilities. The 3 is about evolving, emerging, growth. It's about help from others. There's 2 indications of that. This is the 6 for balance, but the 3 is about, you know, working and perfecting and growing, and the spirit and the drive and the momentum that you want to make this happen. Now, Mars will be going into Sagittarius on the 13th as well, which is the day that I mentioned Mercury goes into Capricorn. And so Mars is all about that fiery ambition. I mean, you think you're feeling a little energetic now from the eclipses? All of us, and I'm kind of looking forward to it, because I feel like I've had so much of that energy, it's made me tired. And so I'm looking forward to getting that little bit more of a pick-me-up again in a natural way and not a bunch of caffeine, you know. So I love that. That's fantastic. There's so many things that could happen and come your way, and planned or otherwise, that you have to look forward to. And you can create and manifest and believe with everything that you are. And know that you, like I said, you can always ask for the help, but it looks as though that's already a part of it. And that might surprise you as well. Finances will be good. Finances are good. 3 is a number of manifestation, but also of mastering. And that's what you like to do. You don't like to just do things. You like to be the best at what you do. And you will do whatever it takes and take as long as it takes. There's that patience with you that I love and I could use more of. 4th category, final category for this reading for you, Taurus, other than the oracle messages, of course, is that of surprises and wishes. What are the surprises that are coming forth, you know, with this, certainly the Uranus energy, and not to mention Uranus is the ruling planet also of Aquarius. So that's been in this whole year, along with, you know, Aquarius being in Saturn. So it's like we have this idea and we're going this way, and then boom, bam, something goes, okay, but I'm going to add this, Uranus. Or it's like, oh, thank goodness. Thank you, Uranus. I mean, without that, I couldn't go to the next step, and so forth, you know. So there's been some beautiful surprises too. I don't want to, you know, not mention that, because yeah, that's a big part of, and there it's about inventions, it's about technology, it's about new entrepreneurial kind of ideas, and the list goes on, you know, with the energies that come from Uranus. But your surprises and wishes, fantastic, especially as the book ends, as you'd call it. You get the 9 of Pentacles. That is such a beautiful sign of yourself, being in your energy, feeling the fruits of your labor. It's a very independent sign. It is that you have made yourself and be your self-made person many times. Though I'm seeing you're going to be getting more help as this year and the years go forward. It started with you. You were absolutely instrumental in it, and you didn't need the help of other people. You totally trusted and believed in your capabilities, and this is where it's led you. The next one is the 10 of Pentacles, the best, the most, involving family, love, money, material wealth, being all of the most. It's one of the best cards in the deck. So there you go. This is, and there's the bird with your mind and understanding and listening and recognizing your capability to think in the proper ways, in the higher energy ways. So you've done a great job, and it's something that you have absolutely created. So you start with the 6 and you end with the 9, and it's just a little way to the 10, and you basically mastered, you know. And you could be a young person. It doesn't have to do with age, or it's certainly not gender. There's a woman, but it could also be a man. It just shows the feminine qualities of the Venus energies that are within you as your ruling planet. So yeah, Venus being predominant, as I said, that's coming up now quite a bit. So we'll all be feeling that, but it's a good time to work through and rediscuss and, you know, the beautiful things that Venus brings into our lives. It's wonderful. So I love this reading. It's actually gorgeous. And the thing about the mind is just being aware, you know, you control that. Don't get to a point where you're worrying yourself about things you don't really know about. There's always things that are new in our lives that we can continue to learn that we don't actually know. So in closing, I'm going to finish with your 2 oracle messages. I did bring back out the Psychic Tarot for the Heart deck, which is, I love it. It's a really beautiful deck. Is this also by, let me double check. I think this is by, yeah, John Holland. Anyway, it's speaking of our heart. It also covers all of the, depending on the color of the card, it represents our chakras, or the major arcana, or all the different, you know, elements. So for you, beautiful, beautiful Taurus, and all your relationships for the remainder of this 2021 year, whew, looking forward to a beautiful year that will be still a time of working through things, but knowing it just keeps going up. The trajectory is like this, okay? Because the only way, when I figure whenever you're down and out, the only way is up is one of my favorite sayings from a song from years ago. But okay, so your message is rest and reconsider. I mean, how perfect is that for this time of the retrograde Venus and upcoming Mercury retrograde? It is absolutely the time to slow your roll. Recognize what you've done thus far in this year, in the years prior as well, but knowing that there's no rush. There never is. That is, to me, it's a man-made belief. And I found myself caught up in that, oh my gosh, so much. And slowing down, it was very hard for me in 2020 when I was shut down from my business, but it definitely made me realize, especially being older, that I think I've overdone it. I was always about, boom, 2 jobs, 3 jobs, you know, just keep it going, keep it moving. It's exhausting, you know, and that you don't have to do that to be successful and to work smarter and all those things. You really don't. And that's such a beautiful blessing from 2020. And there's the 9 again, the completion of the year, the completion of, you know, your worries and your concerns, being in nature that you love, being you, being true to you. you know, embracing every moment and every second of your life. And I'm going to read to you what it says. Now, this is the purple, so I'm almost positive it does represent the element of air, which is, once again, you know, was your second card. So what does it say for mental? Yes, indigo. So it's all tying in very, very well, making a lot of sense. I hope you're resonating right now. And it takes time sometimes. You don't always resonate right away, but in some way, something will, I'm sure you'll be able to kind of feel or pick up or connect in some way to this reading. So, oh, you know what? That's interesting. What's happening right now? I'm sorry, let me double check this real quick. 8 and 9. No, I'm confused right now, but bear with me if you will, because it said indigo. I see that as indigo, and now it's not happening in that way. So I'll go to the very last again and double check and see what's happening. Resting, reconsider. But let me check very quickly, if I may, on what it's showing me as far as what category this is under. Okay, no, I was wrong. The violet is violet. Indigo is a blue. Violet is the element of wands. So of course you're feeling, and it's spirit, which is of course still the major influence of the Sagittarius solar eclipse on the 4th, Sagittarius season, which is still what I'm reading during the time until the 21st when it becomes Capricorn. So yeah, you're very much in tune with that. And it says keywords: fatigue, perseverance, strength, and recharge. Fatigue. That's what happens from the eclipses. I feel it so much, and I feel badly sometimes. I do, and I'm thinking, what's going on? And then I stop and I say, I'm going to take advantage, because next week's a busier week, and literally, I mean in my life. So it's never anything wrong. It's just going with the flow. And that's so important. That's a big theme for the Pisces and Jupiter as well, or Jupiter and Pisces theme. Go with the flow. It's a lot easier on your body and your energies and everything else. But the message says sometimes the struggle to create, maintain harmonies and fulfilling relationships seems to be like too much work. You put forth your best effort and give more than you share, and more than your share, and find that there are still issues to be dealt with. You're tired, and at times you just want to give up. The message of this card, though, is to persevere, which is what you do, Taurus. You don't give up, but you obviously, we all as humans, we feel these interactions, these things that come up. They just do. You may have been disappointed or hurt in the past. Know that those past sorrows have made you stronger, even though you don't feel that way in the moment. And, you know, once again, this is all about, but it's okay to have these moments. They're only moments. It's fleeting in a lifetime, you know, and our lifetimes are short as it is. So in the big picture, it's all very, very short and very quick. So just take it in and just take that time to be with you and just restore yourself, okay? I like that. I appreciate that. It's so fitting for this time. And it's part of that, you know, when I say Venus and love, it's self-love and just self-respect for yourself, you know. And if you're feeling a little funky about that because of the retrograde, give it some more thought. Think, wait a minute, I don't have to feel that way. I'm perfectly okay. And yeah, there's going to be less money this week, but it'll always come back. It's infinite. It's unlimited. So I'll finish with your last category, or your last card, which is the Super Attractor Manifestation deck. Beautiful oracle, one of my faves, my OG deck. And it's about creating the life that you want, you know, one feeling at a time. It's very much about the feeling, and you have depth, so much depth in feeling. You may be a little more introverted at times than a lot of other people. Not always. I know a lot of Tauruses that are outspoken, but you feel so deeply, and, you know, it's not always seen to other people, but it's definitely there. When it comes to love and caring and all that, you run probably, well, Scorpio is a close tie in there. interestingly enough, the next series of, eclipses for the next year and a half plus is going to be the Taurus Scorpio. We had yours to start, and we finished the last of the Gemini Sagittarius, but it'll all be only Taurus and Scorpio. And those are majorly different, but they're very important as well. They're all learning tools, all lessons, and all ways to improve our lives. So your final message, beautiful Taurus, in all your relationships is, I can decide to recalibrate my energy and commit to love and joy. Bam, just that easily. And once you do, you're going to feel it, you're going to love it, and take a picture of this if you want, because it is about an affirmation you can say over and over and over, and your body just changes. The energy changes when you say the things that are right and happy and joyful and uplifting. Your body changes, and it takes it in, and it brings that to other people, and it comes back to you. And that started the whole reading with the Six of Pentacles, which you give, you receive. And that certainly has to do with your energy. So thank you so much for being a part of this reading. And if you liked it, please let me know by liking and subscribing or following, pushing that button, sharing. It's very important. I want to grow this channel. More to come in the new year with things that I can offer for you, and giving you just a bunch of love and happiness and joy. And take good care of yourself. I will be back in January. I hope you will be as well. Until then, bye for now.